Week 2 and college football is here. This is the Coaching Crew Show. I am your host, Charlie Krause. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like to our shows so you get the automatic downloads. These shows every Thursday will be released automatically at 4 p.m. Eastern Time each and every week. Subscribe to our shows. Plus, we'll have post-game wrap-ups featuring various members of the crew as well. Joining the show today, I have Byron Tibbetts. And listen, if you followed us, you know where Byron's going to go. Byron's got one of the best games of the weekend. He's going to help preview and the old Southwest Conference matchup between Arkansas and Texas. And then we got the Holy War as well. Michael Sorensen's going to come in and give us a pitch about Utah and BYU. I've got 3 games we'll profile. I've spliced in some coach press conference talk just to hear, you can hear their feedbacks, and we're going to share our game picks. Let's get it on. And what is being billed as one of the headline matchups of the weekend, it's the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Iowa travels to Iowa State for an interstate Big 12 versus Big 10 conference mashup. Iowa State has the names, they have the talent, they have the Fiesta Bowl that they're hanging their hats off on. But oh yeah, last week they barely held on for a very unimpressive 16-10 victory against an FCS opponent. Maybe there was a look-ahead match. I don't know. I do know Matt Campbell, I think he's the real deal. I don't see them having 2 bad weeks in a row, especially when you have names like Breece Hall as your running back, who led the nation in running last year. You got Brock Purdy, who could be one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the Big 12. And then in that 3-3-5 defense that they play, you have the Big 12 Player of the Year returning in Mike Rose. Iowa State has a lot of weapons and a lot of talent. I think last week was more of a look-ahead game and just getting the kinks out of the system. But they are going to place on, once again, a very sound team and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Kirk Ferentz, it doesn't seem like Kirk Ferentz is always there in the running for each year for the Big Ten. At least it does to me. And they are based off of their O-line and their defense. Their O-line is led by center possible All-American Tyler Lindenbaum. And then the defense, last week alone, Riley Moss had 2 pick sixes, okay? And guess what? They both went for touchdowns. See what I did there?
It should come as no surprise, but the game of the week is your Texas Longhorns, featured 7 p.m. prime time, ESPN, headed to Fayetteville, Arkansas to renew an old rivalry from the Southwest Conference days against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Well, not only is this an old rivalry that Texas dominated, but this is a sign of things to come for the SEC, so watch out for some Longhorn dominance all Saturday night. Hook 'em.
And what quickly has been noted as the Johnny Majors Bowl, who was the former head coach of both squads, Tennessee is hosting Pittsburgh this weekend. Tennessee features new head coach Josh Heupel, who brought in former Michigan Wolverines quarterback Joe Milton to help lead the way. They're going to take on Pittsburgh, who Pat Narduzzi, he's got himself a nice, sound squad, okay? It's exactly what I said it was. It's a sound squad. They're going to do all the little things right, and they're going to be in every single game. Don't be surprised if come late November, Pittsburgh's in the running for the Coastal Division. Kenny Pickett is exactly the way Pat Narduzzi is coaching. He's solid and he's sound, okay? That's just the type of style they play. It's going to be an interesting matchup. The Josh Heupel effect, is that going to be enough after 1 season of recruiting or 1 year of recruiting? This is year 1 for Heupel to bring in his style of offense into Tennessee versus the Pittsburgh. One thing we do know is you're going to hear, I wish I was up on Rocky Top about 140 times. And if you don't know the lyrics by now, you're going to learn them.
All right, folks, it's that time of the year again, the Holy War, BYU and Utah, in Provo, LaVelle Edwards Stadium. another late night kick on ESPN Saturday night. First game back in LaVelle Edwards Stadium with full capacity, with 64,000 screaming fans since 2019, and what better game to do it than the Utah game? So, I am super excited for this week. Not only because of the Utah game, but because of the Big 12 invite we're going to get on Friday. This could end up being the biggest week in BYU athletics history. I'm not over-exaggerating. This is going to be bigger than the 1984 National Championship. This is bigger than when Ty won the Heisman. This is going to be a monumental week, and what better way to cap it off than with the win against Utah Saturday night. Utah's taken the past 9 or whatever. They've won every game since 2009, so and the reason why is because of the turnover battle. BYU has not been able to hold on to the ball against Utah. BYU, in that time span of that losing streak since 2009, BYU's turned the ball over 29 times. 9 of those have been returned back for touchdowns. Utah's only turned the ball over 14 times. None of those have been returned back for touchdowns by BYU. Now, with that being said, every game except one has been a one-score game since Utah's been on this winning streak. Every game has been a close game. So the only thing I can guarantee you this week is a close game. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect. So I'm expecting a great game. Hopefully with a BYU win. Hey, if BYU gets a Big 12 invite on Friday and they win Saturday night, do not be surprised if the second coming of Jesus Christ is on Sunday. Good night. Hallelujah. Go Cougs.
One of the more hidden games of the weekend is in the southwest corner of Tennessee and 60 miles away out in Arkansas. We're talking Arkansas State and Memphis. What was the last time that you thought you would hear those names mentioned in the same sentence? Believe it or not, these guys are rivals. And the line is a lot closer than most people would expect, because most people are like, oh, Memphis, they've got a huge offense. They're going to win big. And you know what? They very well could. Not saying they're not. But this game has got meaning because they recruit from the same players. They recruit from the same states and recruit from the same areas. James Blackman will be the quarterback for Arkansas State. They have a 3-headed monster running attack. Alan Lamar, Marcel Murray, and Johnny Lang all are the running backs for Arkansas State. They're going to have a tough night. I'm not going to say they're not. But between having fans in the stands, being the home field, and being a rivalry game, this game's going to be a lot closer and this really one of those fun ones to watch, because we all know Memphis from over the years has always put on points, regardless of who their new head coaches are. They're loaded. They went with the freshman quarterback this year. They've got Seth Hennigan at QB, and they've got tons of talent. Another 3-headed monster around them. Asa Martin, Rodriguez Clark, and Brandon Thomas are all running backs that are going to be used in Memphis. And you've heard of these receivers. You got Sean Dykes and Calvin Austin as wideouts and tight ends for Memphis. Memphis should win this game, but expect this to be an enjoyable watch from a fan point of view.
Start out by saying we play on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 this Saturday, and as part of our uniform on our helmets, we're going to be wearing this Never Forget 343 decal. It's honoring the 343 first responders who gave their life on 9/11.
The ball, tell him we need to get the ball to Keishon Butte earlier. I thought he had a fantastic night with 9 catches, whatever it is. The guy's a dynamite player, but we need to find him early.
Thank everybody that came out to support our team Friday night. I mean, it was just a really special atmosphere. As good and as energetic a place as a sporting event as I've ever been in from start to finish.
You know, after a win, I think also just for everybody to stay focused on the things that we need to do and not get caught up in all the hype that goes along with, you know, as the season begins, and wins and losses and all that, just trying to be as consistent as possible, so staying focused on the things that matter. And
last week, a lot of corrections. Really, that's the number one thing from my seat right now. I told our players that we got to improve. We got to improve in all three phases. Made a lot of mistakes. That's normal for first games. Our guys played extremely hard, which was very encouraging, but we got to correct our mistakes.
Guys have had the appropriate response after the loss on Saturday night. Had a lot of good meetings, a lot of good talks. I've had 2 good practices. Continue to message and learn from the things that we need to get better at as an entire organization.
Not really. I mean, it was a game of phases. We went out there. I thought we came out. We played well. Then I think we coasted. Then we got hit in the mouth. Then we panicked, and then we played real well.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
And now it's time for everybody's favorite section, game picks. Starting off in the shoe, we have Oregon traveling to Ohio State, where the majority of us, including Coach, has the Buckeyes walking away with the victory. Sidebar, who do you think was the best of the 3 quarterbacks? Kurt Herbstreit, Shane Falco, or Johnny Utah? My money was on Johnny Utah. He might have blown out his knee, but he won the Rose Bowl. Next, we head to Neyland Stadium, and we're singing Rocky Top. 71% of the crew is on Tennessee. I happen to, as much as a fan as I am of Tennessee and sing Rocky Top, I'm taking Pittsburgh in this game. Sorry, Vol Navy. Next, we go to the air-conditioned Carrier Dome. Yes, you heard me correctly. The air-conditioned Carrier Dome. It's a 50-50 split where the coach actually sided with Rutgers. In one of the headline games, Iowa at Iowa State for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. It's a 50-50 split. Coach went with the home team, Iowa State. Remember this name, Cameron Peebles. If you don't know it by now, you're going to learn it. Appalachian State will pull the upset. Mark my words, I'm on that 29% line. Appalachian State will pull the upset over the U. Still wanted to profile this game because I think this game's going to be one of the more fun games to watch. Though I do agree with the 93%, I think Memphis will win at the end over Arkansas State. Classic Southwest Conference rivalry between Texas and Arkansas. I happen to be on the 79%ers. Here's an interesting battle. You got North Carolina State as the favorite, but the underdog on the Coach and Crew show, traveling into Stark Vegas against Mississippi State. I'm on the Wolfpack. And to close out the night, the Holy War. The fighting Michael Sorensen's host, the Utah Utes. 57% of the Crew Nation is on BYU. Sorry, Michael. Coach is on Utah. That's your picks for this weekend. Look for our summary show as well as individualized summaries of specific games coming out this weekend. With that said, enjoy your weekend.